The Kethari people had once been proud. They lived on a planet called Xylan, deep in the Orvax cluster. Their cities floated above violet oceans, and their technology was far ahead of many species. They had machines that could travel faster than light and heal the sick almost instantly, but the Galactic Council did not care about pride or achievements. The Council demanded that the Kethari share their genetics. They wanted to use Kethari DNA for experiments that would create stronger soldiers for their armies. Commander Liran, the leader of the Kethari, refused. She would not let her people be treated like tools. The refusal angered the Council. They called the Kethari rebels and outlaws and forced them to leave their planet forever. Now the Kethari drifted through empty space. Their ships were damaged and the food supplies were low. Water was rationed carefully. Many of the younger Kethari felt fear for the first time. They had always believed their strength could protect them. Now they were exiles, and even the stars seemed cold and empty. Liran walked through the main corridor of the largest ship, the Orvaxian Dawn. She watched her people quietly. Some were repairing small engines. Others tried to eat, but the rations were barely enough. Children stayed close to their parents, unsure of what the future held. "We cannot give up," Liran said to herself. "There must be a place for us. There must be somewhere safe." Her second-in-command, a Kethari named Tivan, approached her. "Commander, our sensors detect a weak signal ahead. It is not from our fleet. It is faint, almost like a distress call." Liran studied the readings. "Show me." The screen displayed a small dot moving slowly through the darkness. The energy pattern was strange. It was not a weapon or a probe. It was a call for help, almost like the Kethari themselves. "Should we respond?" Tivan asked. Liran shook her head. "We cannot risk another trap. The Council has spies everywhere, but perhaps it is a chance. Prepare a scout ship. I will go myself." Meanwhile, far from the Orvax cluster, humans were making their own discoveries. Earth had sent small research vessels into the outer solar system to monitor space traffic and study asteroids. One of these ships, the Odyssey, detected something unusual near Jupiter's orbit. Captain Ethan Brooks sat in the command chair, studying the readings. He was a tall man with brown hair and sharp eyes. His crew trusted him because he always thought carefully before acting. "This signal is strange," he said. "It is weak but definitely intelligent. Dr. Harris, can you translate it?" Dr. Megan Harris, the ship's biologist, shook her head. "It is not any language we know, Captain. But it has patterns. Something is trying to communicate." Lieutenant Ryan Cole, the navigator, frowned. "It is in a dangerous zone. Radiation from Jupiter is high. Any approach will be risky." Ethan nodded. "I understand. But we cannot ignore it. Someone is asking for help. That is enough reason to investigate." The crew prepared the Odyssey for the journey. They checked shields, engines, and life support. The ship was not large, but it was fast and capable. For the next few hours, the crew watched the signal grow stronger. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Back on the Kethari ship, Liran piloted the scout ship closer to the signal. The darkness of space stretched endlessly around them. Stars glittered far away, but there was no warmth in them, only cold light. The source of the signal appeared as a small object floating alone. It was a damaged ship, its surface scorched and cracked. Inside, Liran saw movement, shapes that were alive but weak. She could not understand the language, but she could feel fear. She could feel the call for help. "Prepare to board," Liran said to Tivan. "We will see if they need us." When they entered the ship, they found beings unlike any they had seen before. They were fragile, smaller than Kethari, with pale skin and weak limbs. Their eyes were wide with fear. Liran realized quickly they had survived by luck, not skill. "We cannot leave them here," Liran said. "Even if it is dangerous, we cannot abandon them." Meanwhile, the humans approached the same area. The Odyssey moved slowly through the radiation, its sensors scanning every part of the dark space. "There it is," Ryan said, pointing at the screen. A small alien vessel drifted in the darkness. The readings were unstable. Energy levels were low. "Looks damaged," Megan said. "Life signs are weak. Whoever is inside, they need help." Ethan made a decision. "We are going in. Prepare the medical bay. Bring anyone aboard if we can. That is an order." The Odyssey docked carefully with the alien ship. The crew of humans felt nervous but focused. They opened the hatch. Inside, they found strange beings with pale skin and delicate limbs. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dim light. One of the aliens moved toward them. Its voice was soft but clear, though they could not understand the words. Megan activated the universal translator. Slowly, the alien spoke. Its name was Commander Lyrayan. Ethan stepped forward. "We are humans. We mean no harm. Are you injured?" Lyran looked at the humans with surprise. She did not expect anyone to come. Her people had prepared for hostility, not kindness. We are exiles," she said. The translator made the words clear. "We were cast out. We need help." Ethan nodded. "You will have it. We will bring you aboard our ship." Tivan, observing the humans, whispered to Lyran, "They are not like the Council. They are different." The humans helped the aliens onto the Odyssey. The aliens moved carefully, their movements slow from weakness. Ethan guided them to the medical bay, where Megan and her team began examining them. The aliens had bruises, minor burns, and exhaustion. They were not used to harsh conditions outside their ships. "Do you speak our language?" Megan asked gently. Lyran shook her head. "No, but we understand your intent. You help us. You do not fear us," Ryan, observing the aliens, whispered. "They are beautiful, but fragile. Their species cannot survive harsh environments." Ethan nodded. "Then we must protect them. That is what humans do." As the Odyssey moved away from Jupiter's orbit, the humans began learning more about the Cathari. They were intelligent but fragile. Their society valued knowledge, art, and compassion. They had been exiled for refusing to harm others. The humans began to understand that these aliens were victims of a cruel galaxy. Lyran watched the humans carefully. She saw something in their eyes that she had never seen before in the Council's worlds. Strength, yes, but also kindness. A willingness to act, even when it was dangerous. She felt hope for the first time in many cycles. "Perhaps," she whispered to Tivan, "this is the place for us. Perhaps these humans are different." On Earth, news of the rescue had not yet spread. The United Nations would soon learn that humans had brought aliens aboard their ship. But for now, Ethan focused on the Cathari's survival. He knew the galaxy was watching, even if he did not yet realize it. The aliens were weak, but they were alive. That was all that mattered. And for the first time in a long time, the exiled Cathari could believe that somewhere in the stars, there was a place that would accept them, not as tools, not as weapons, but as beings who deserved life. As the Odyssey sailed quietly through the void, Lyran looked at the humans and said quietly to herself, "Earth, perhaps this is our new home." And in that moment, across the darkness of space, two species, one fragile, one strong, began a journey that would change the galaxy forever. The Odyssey returned to Earth slowly. The Cathari were quiet, resting in the medical bay. Their bodies were fragile, and even small movements tired them. Humans worked carefully to make sure the aliens felt safe. Dr. Megan Harris monitored their vitals constantly, adjusting medicines and feeding tubes. Captain Ethan Brooks sat in the command room watching the stars outside the viewport. He was proud of his crew, but he also worried. Bringing aliens into human space was risky. The Galactic Council would notice eventually, and Earth was not ready for conflict. Yet Ethan could not regret saving lives. "Captain," Ryan Cole said, "we are entering the outer communication zone. Should we report the rescue?" Ethan shook his head. "Not yet. We need to protect them first. If the Council knows, they might send a fleet. We are not ready for that." Meanwhile, in the medical bay, Megan was trying to communicate with Commander Lyran. The universal translator worked slowly. Lyran spoke carefully, choosing words to explain her story. "We were exiled," Lyran said softly. "Our people. We refused the Council. They wanted to use us. To make soldiers, to make weapons." Megan's heart sank. "They wanted to use you as tools?" Lyran nodded. "We did not obey. We left our home. Now we are alone. In the darkness, one of the Cathari children, small and pale with luminous eyes, crawled toward Megan. "Help," it whispered. Megan gently lifted the child into her arms. The child relaxed, trusting her even though their language was different. Ethan entered the medical bay quietly. "How are they?" he asked. Megan shook her head. "Weak but alive. They need safety, food, and time. Their bodies are not used to the environment of space or human medicine." Ryan stepped closer, studying Lyran. "Captain, their technology is advanced, yet they are so fragile." "It is strange," Ethan nodded. "Strength is not always in the body. Sometimes it is in the mind and the heart. We will learn from them, and they will learn from us. The days passed slowly. The Kethari rested and recovered. Humans learned small things about their culture. They painted delicate patterns on glass, and their song, soft and haunting, floated through the corridors. Megan tried to write their language down, capturing sounds and symbols. It was not easy, but she was determined. Liren observed the humans. She was impressed by their curiosity and their patience. Unlike the council's soldiers, they did not demand obedience. They listened. They cared. Slowly, Liren began to trust them. "We must be careful," Tivan whispered. "The council will not forget." "They will come," Liren nodded. "I know, but for now, we survive, we learn. Perhaps these humans, they can be friends." One evening, Ethan stood on the observation deck watching the Earth rise in the distance. Megan joined him. "They are amazing," she said quietly. "Even though they are fragile, they have survived so much." Ethan smiled. "Humans have a saying, strength is not just in the body, it is in the will to survive. These aliens, they have that same strength, they just need a place to live." Suddenly, the communications officer spoke urgently. "Captain, there is a signal. It is from the Galactic Council." Ethan's expression darkened. "Put it through." The holographic screen lit up with the image of a tall, armored alien, the Council's envoy. His face was sharp and cold, with no sign of mercy. "Humans of Earth," the envoy said. "You have interfered in matters that do not concern you. The Kethari are exiles. They belong to the Council. Return them immediately or face consequences." Ethan clenched his fists. "We did not interfere. We saved lives. That is what humans do. We will not hand them over." The envoy's eyes narrowed. "You will regret this decision. All worlds that harbor exiles will be marked. The Council does not forgive." The transmission ended. The bridge was silent. Megan placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Captain, they will come." "What do we do?" Ethan's jaw tightened. "We prepare, but we do not bow. We protect life. That is who we are." Back in the medical bay, the Kethari heard about the Council's message. Fear returned to their eyes. Liren gathered her people. "They will try to take us," she said. "But Earth, these humans, they have chosen to protect us. We must trust them. For the first time, we are not alone." Tivan frowned. "We cannot hide forever. The Council's reach is vast," Liren nodded. "We do what we must. For now, we survive. Then we plan." Over the next weeks, humans and Kethari began learning from each other. Megan taught the aliens about Earth's air, gravity, and microbes. The Kethari immune systems were weak, so even small infections could be dangerous. The humans worked slowly, helping them adapt without harming them. In return, the Kethari shared their knowledge. They showed humans how to use small energy devices to heal injuries and purify water. Their songs contained mathematical patterns that helped humans understand new ways of thinking. Ethan watched this exchange with awe. "They are not weapons," he said to Megan. "They are teachers. We can learn as much from them as they can learn from us." One night, while humans slept, Liren walked in the quiet corridors. She thought about her homeworld, lost forever. She thought about the stars, so wide and empty. And she thought about Earth, a small blue planet far from the Council's influence, where strangers had risked everything to save her people. "Perhaps we have found a new home," she whispered to Tivan. "Perhaps we are meant to live here, with humans who do not fear us." Tivan studied her. "Do you think they will keep us safe, even if the Council comes?" Liren smiled faintly. "They are different. They do not see us as tools. They see us as beings who deserve life. That is a rare thing in the galaxy." Meanwhile, Ethan received a report from the ship's sensors. "Captain, there are faint signs of Council activity near the outer edge of the solar system. Scouts, perhaps. They are trying to locate us." Ethan nodded. "We expected that. We will not fight unless necessary. We will protect the Kethari, but we will not start a war." Megan looked worried. "Captain, what if the Council sends a fleet? Our ships are not ready for a full-scale battle." Ethan smiled faintly. "Then we fight smart. We use what we have, and we trust that doing the right thing is more powerful than fear." The Kethari began adjusting to life on the Odyssey. Children played carefully under human supervision. Adults learned to use Earth technology and helped improve life support systems. Slowly, trust grew. The fear of the Council still lingered, but hope was stronger now than despair. One afternoon, Megan worked with Liren to translate more of the Kethari language. Patterns in their writing revealed stories of their history, art, and achievements. Megan realized how rich their culture was and how unfairly it had been cast out. "They are more than survivors," Megan said to Ethan. "They are a living library of knowledge. We cannot let them be destroyed." Ethan nodded. "And we won't. Earth has not faced a test like this before, but we are ready. We will stand with them. Humanity will not turn away." As the days passed, the Odyssey became a home for both humans and aliens. Bonds grew between species. Shared meals, careful conversation, and acts of kindness built trust. The Cathari began to believe that maybe, just maybe, they were safe. Yet outside the ship, darkness waited. The Galactic Council had not forgotten. They were watching, and their anger was growing. But for the first time, the Cathari did not feel alone. They had humans who chose to protect them, not for power or fear, but because it was the right thing to do. And in that small hope, a spark began, a spark that could change the course of the galaxy. The Odyssey sailed steadily toward Earth, carrying fragile lives, newfound trust, and the first seeds of a future where kindness and courage might stand against the cruelty of the stars. The Odyssey traveled slowly toward Earth, carrying both humans and Cathari. The journey gave them time to learn from each other. In the medical bay, Dr. Megan Harris worked closely with the Cathari scientists to help them adapt to Earth's atmosphere. Small doses of Earth microbes were introduced to build immunity, and daily exercises helped strengthen their fragile bodies. The Cathari children were curious. They touched everything carefully, fascinated by the bright colors and smells of human food and plants. Humans taught them to eat safely, and Cathari showed humans how to clean water using their small, glowing devices. Commander Liran watched these exchanges quietly. She was amazed at human patience and creativity. Unlike the Galactic Council, humans did not demand obedience. They allowed mistakes and encouraged learning. "Captain Brooks," Liran said one evening as she observed Ethan walking among the humans and Cathari, "Your species, you do not fear us. You treat us as equals, that is unusual." Ethan paused. "We have faced many dangers, yes. But kindness is not weakness. It is a choice, and we choose it." Liran considered his words. For centuries, the Cathari had known fear, obedience, and control. To be treated with respect felt strange, but also comforting. Tivan, standing beside Liran, whispered, "Do you believe they will protect us if the council comes?" "I believe," Liran replied, "that humans will fight for life, not just for power. That is something the galaxy often forgets." Meanwhile, Megan continued translating Cathari language. She discovered stories of heroes and inventors, tales of compassion and bravery, and songs that described the stars. She realized that the Cathari had knowledge the galaxy had ignored. Their culture was rich, and their history was filled with lessons that humans could learn from. One day, as the ship traveled past Mars, sensors detected a faint energy signature. It was a probe sent by the Galactic Council. The humans and Cathari watched it on the screens, its shape unfamiliar and menacing. Ethan frowned. "They are sending scouts. They want to locate us before taking action." Liran's eyes narrowed. "Then we must prepare. Not for war, but for defense. We cannot let them take us." Ethan nodded. "We will not fight unless we must. But we will not surrender. That is clear." Back in the Cathari quarters, adults and children alike began learning human customs. They shared meals and told stories. One Cathari child asked Megan why humans smiled even when they were afraid. Megan smiled. "Because smiling helps us keep hope alive. And hope is stronger than fear." The Cathari adults found themselves smiling too, slowly learning trust in this small blue planet far from the cruel eyes of the Council. Days passed, and bonds grew stronger. Liran observed Ethan carefully. She began to see that humans had something the Council lacked: courage paired with compassion. Unlike the rigid, fear-driven Council, humans acted from choice, not obligation. One evening, Liran asked Megan to show her Earth's simple plants. Megan took her to a small garden inside the ship. Liran touched the leaves gently, fascinated by the way they moved under light. "This is life," Liran said softly. "Simple, fragile, yet strong. Your species. You protect life, not destroy it. That is rare in the galaxy." Megan nodded. "We are not perfect, but we try, and sometimes that is enough." Meanwhile, the Council's warning echoed across human communication channels. Earth's leaders began discussing the presence of the Cathari. Some were afraid, Others, like Ethan, insisted that saving lives was worth any risk. In the training room, humans and Cathari began working together on safety drills. Humans taught the Cathari to use simple defensive tools. The Cathari shared their small energy devices, which could create shields or purify air. The cooperation strengthened trust, and each day the aliens grew stronger and more confident. One morning, while Megan worked with a group of Cathari children, she noticed Commander Lyran speaking with Ethan near the observation deck. "They are changing," Lyran said quietly. "Even in a few days, their strength returns. And they trust you." Ethan smiled. "They are survivors. They will adapt. And we will stand with them no matter what comes." Lyran paused. "In the galaxy, strength is measured by weapons, by armies. But your strength, it is measured by choice. That is new to us." Just then, the sensors picked up another signal. This time it was different. It was a warning, but it came from a smaller ship, a messenger from a nearby council world. Ethan activated the screen. The envoy spoke with a voice cold and mechanical. "Humans of Earth, you harbor exiles. You risk your planet. Surrender them or face consequences. You have been warned." Ethan stood tall. "We will not surrender. We protect life. That is our choice. If that makes us enemies, so be it." Megan looked worried. "Captain, the Council may attack. We are not prepared for war." Ethan shook his head. "We will not use force unless necessary, but we will defend life. That is the difference. We do not destroy to rule." Back in the Cathari quarters, fear returned. Some whispered about the Council's fleets, about their power, about the inevitability of war. Lyran gathered her people. "We will not hide," she said. "We will survive. Earth protects us. Humans protect us. And for the first time, we have hope." Tyvan looked at her. "Do you believe that hope is enough?" Lyran smiled. "Hope is what keeps us alive. Courage and wisdom will guide us, and now we have allies." In the days that followed, humans and Cathari worked side by side. Engineers improved life support systems, blending human and Cathari technology. The children played together, laughing in ways that warmed the hearts of everyone aboard. Megan studied the Cathari language carefully, learning not only words but emotions and intentions. She realized that the Cathari thought in patterns in ways humans could barely imagine. Their songs and stories contained lessons about life, about survival, about resilience, Ethan observed quietly, realizing that these aliens were not just fragile beings. They were teachers, survivors, and friends. He understood something important. Humanity's strength was not in its weapons, but in its willingness to protect life, to act with courage, and to show kindness when no one else would. One night, Lyran and Tyvan stood near the observation deck. Earth appeared as a bright blue gem in the distance, and the stars stretched endlessly beyond. "This planet," Lyran whispered. "Perhaps it is meant for us. Perhaps it is our new home." Tyvan nodded. "Do you believe humans will keep their promise? That they will stand with us?" Lyran looked at the distant planet and smiled. "They have already shown us their choice. They protect life even when it is dangerous. That is more than most in the galaxy can do. I believe they will not abandon us." The Odyssey moved steadily through space, carrying humans and Cathari alike. Bonds were forming that could change the galaxy. The Council's threats loomed in the distance, but on the ship, fear was balanced with hope. For the first time in cycles, the Cathari felt safe. They were learning from humans, and humans were learning from them. Together they began to build trust, understanding, and perhaps a vision for a future where cooperation could defeat cruelty. And in that quiet, shared journey, two species, one fragile, one strong, began to prepare for the challenges ahead. The stars were vast and dangerous, but hope and courage lit the path forward. The galaxy might have cast them out, but Earth had chosen to protect them. And for the Cathari, that choice meant everything. The warning from the Galactic Council had reached Earth. Governments gathered in emergency meetings. Military leaders debated options, scientists warned about the alien technology, and politicians argued about diplomacy. But Captain Ethan Brooks knew what had to be done. He stood before the Council of Earth's leaders in a large conference room in New York. Beside him were Dr. Megan Harris and Commander Lyran. The Cathari leader's calm presence reminded everyone that these were not just strangers. They were refugees, beings who had nowhere else to go. "We cannot surrender them," Ethan said firmly. "The Cathari are exiles, yes, but they are alive. and we chose to save lives. If we hand them over, we betray our own values. Humanity does not give up on those who cannot defend themselves. Some leaders protested. Captain, the Council has weapons far beyond our capability. This is not just a warning. If we resist, Earth could be destroyed. Ethan nodded. Perhaps, but standing for life is worth the risk. If we bow now, we show the galaxy that fear and cruelty rule. If we fight wisely, we show them what humans can do. Megan stepped forward. They are fragile, yes, but they are intelligent. They can help us. We can combine our knowledge and theirs. Together we can find ways to defend without unnecessary destruction. Commander Liran looked around the room. Your species is brave. You protect life even when the danger is great. That is why we trust you. We will do our part. We will help. The leaders finally agreed. Earth would not surrender the Cathari. Instead, humans would prepare defenses while seeking to avoid open conflict. On the Odyssey, preparations began immediately. Engineers worked day and night to adapt Earth technology for defense. Satellites were equipped with sensors and energy shields. The small fleet of human ships gathered near the outer planets. The Cathari shared their knowledge, teaching humans how to enhance shields and purify energy flows. Ethan trained his crew and the Cathari in teamwork and tactics. We may not match their firepower, he said. But humans are clever, we adapt. We find new ways to survive. That is our strength, Liran nodded. The Council measures power by armies and weapons. They do not understand courage, strategy, or hope. That is where humans have an advantage. Weeks passed. Humans and Cathari worked together to build defenses. Engineers discovered that Cathari energy devices could create barriers that blocked Council drones. Scientists developed camouflage techniques, using shadows and radiation interference to hide ships. Children of both species practiced drills, learning to move quickly and safely in emergencies. Despite the preparations, fear lingered. Every day the Council could arrive. Every moment the galaxy's greatest power could strike. But humans refused to panic. Instead, they focused on what they could control: training, building, and protecting those who could not protect themselves. One night, Ethan walked along the observation deck with Megan. Do you think they will come? Megan asked. They will, Ethan said quietly. But we are ready. The Cathari are learning from us and we are learning from them. That is strength the Council cannot understand. Meanwhile, Liran spoke with Tivan. Our people are scared. Even with humans protecting us, the Council is powerful. How can we hope to survive? Tivan placed a hand on her shoulder. We survive because we are not alone. Humans stand with us. We adapt, we endure. That is enough to face the darkness. The first Council scouts appeared near Saturn's orbit. Massive ships moved with silent precision, their shapes dark against the stars. Probes scanned the planets, searching for the Cathari. Humans and Cathari watched from hidden positions, hearts pounding but spirits strong. Prepare the defenses, Ethan ordered. Deploy the drones, activate shields, and be ready to move. Remember, we protect life first. Do not engage unless necessary. The first encounter came quickly. Council drones, sleek and deadly, approached the fleet. They moved fast, scanning and firing small disruptor beams. Humans reacted with clever tactics, moving ships through asteroid fields, using debris for cover, and activating Cathari energy shields. Liran observed the battle in awe. Humans were unpredictable, moving in ways the Council drones could not anticipate. They improvised and adapted, showing courage and intelligence. Captain Brooks, Megan said, watching a drone collapse under an EMP pulse. They are retreating, Ethan smiled. They underestimate us. That is our advantage. We fight with brains, not just weapons. The Council fleet withdrew temporarily, confused by the humans' tactics. The message was clear. Earth would not surrender the Cathari. On the ship, humans and Cathari celebrated quietly. Children laughed, parents hugged, and the engineers checked systems again. Despite the fear, hope grew stronger. Liran turned to Ethan. Your species. You are unlike any in the galaxy. You do not rely on power alone. You use courage, hope, and intelligence. That is why we trust you. Ethan shook his head. It is not just me. Humanity has always survived because we care. We protect each other even when it is difficult. We may be small, fragile, but we are stubborn. That is our strength. As the days passed, humans strengthened Earth's defenses. Satellites and stations were positioned strategically. Cathari devices were integrated into shields and energy grids. Plans were made for evacuation if necessary, but the focus remained on defense, not fear. One morning, Megan worked with a Cathari scientist to analyze Council technology. They discovered weaknesses in drone systems and ways to disrupt communication between Council ships. This knowledge gave humans confidence. They were not defenseless. Liran and Tevan led their people in adapting to Earth life. They built small habitats near research stations and began to learn human customs. For the first time in cycles, the Cathari felt safe, even as the shadow of the Council loomed. Ethan watched the preparations and realized something important. The galaxy thinks strength is measured by fear and weapons, he said to Megan. But humanity's strength is choice. We choose to protect life. We choose courage over fear. That is something no fleet can destroy. The Council sent another message warning that any resistance would bring full-scale attack. Earth's leaders read it carefully. Some feared disaster, but most understood that surrender was not an option. We have a choice, Ethan told the Council, to live as cowards or to stand and protect what is right. I know what we must do. We fight, not because we seek power, but because we must protect life. That is our message to the galaxy. Liran nodded. We will stand with you. The Cathari will not hide. We will fight in ways we can, and together we will survive. The first test came soon. Council scouts approached again, this time with larger ships and more aggressive drones. Humans and Cathari activated their defenses. The battle was intense. Drones fired beams. Ships dodged through asteroid fields, and energy shields pulsed to block attacks. Ethan coordinated the fleet, guiding ships with calm authority. Megan monitored Cathari shields, adjusting power levels. Liran directed her people, ensuring that children and weak adults remained safe. The Council was surprised. Humans were unpredictable, clever, and relentless. Drones fell to traps. Communication links were disrupted, and the fleet could not locate the Cathari precisely. After hours, the Council withdrew. For the first time, humans and Cathari knew they could survive against the galaxy's greatest power. Hope burned brighter than fear. On the observation deck, Ethan looked at Earth in the distance. We have shown the Council what humanity can do. Not with fear, not with weapons, but with courage and choice. Liran joined him. Your species, you do not fight because you want to rule. You fight because you want to protect. That is rare. That is strength, Ethan smiled. Then we are not just protecting them. We are showing the galaxy what humans can be. Compassion is power too. The Cathari children played quietly in the corner. They laughed, sang, and shared their joy with humans. The adults worked together with humans, building, planning, and teaching. Bonds had grown strong enough to withstand fear and threat. The Council's shadow remained, but Earth had chosen its path. Humans would protect the Cathari, and in doing so, they proved something important. Life, courage, and hope were more powerful than any weapon. As the Odyssey and Earth's fleet prepared for the next phase, humans and Cathari alike understood that the galaxy had underestimated them. Together they could face the darkness. Together, they could survive. And for the first time, the exiled Cathari truly felt at home, knowing that the humans who had saved them would stand firm, no matter the cost. The Council had not given up. Months of preparation had passed, but their fleet still hovered at the edge of the solar system. Earth's leaders knew that another test was coming. They had strengthened defenses, trained fleets, and built underground shelters for civilians and Cathari alike. Yet tension remained, and the possibility of war weighed heavily on every mind. Captain Ethan Brooks stood on the observation deck of the Odyssey, looking at the stars. Beside him, Commander Liran watched silently. The Cathari leader's calm demeanor reminded him that courage could be quiet, steady, and strong. We've done all we can, Ethan said softly. Now we wait. The Council may strike at any moment. Liran nodded. And when they do, we will face them together. Earth has chosen life. That is our greatest weapon. Meanwhile, Dr. Megan Harris worked with both humans and Cathari to improve medical and defensive systems. She had developed ways to boost Cathari immune systems more efficiently, and taught humans to operate Cathari energy devices. The fusion of human ingenuity and alien technology gave Earth a surprising edge. In the months that followed, children of both species played together under careful supervision. Laughter filled the halls of research stations and the Odyssey. For the Cathari, it was the first time in cycles that they could feel safe, free from fear, and connected to a community that valued them for who they were. One morning, alarms rang throughout the fleet. Council ships had been detected approaching faster than before. The edge of the solar system glowed with the lights of massive alien vessels, moving with purpose. Ethan and Liren gathered all the leaders and crew. "This is it," Ethan said. "We have trained. We have prepared. We protect life because it is right, not because it is easy. That will guide us now," Liren added. "Our people trust you. We will do everything we can. Together we are stronger than the Council expects." The first wave of Council drones entered the system. They were sleek, black, and silent, scanning for signs of Cathari life. Earth satellites activated camouflage fields, and Cathari energy shields formed barriers around critical areas. Human ships moved in coordinated patterns, unpredictable and clever. Drones struck, firing beams that could slice metal. But humans and Cathari worked as one. Shields absorbed energy. EMP pulses disabled multiple drones, and decoys misled the Council scouts. For the first time, an invading force discovered that humans could think as fast as machines, and sometimes faster. On board the Odyssey, Megan monitored shields and energy levels. "Captain, drones are falling at a rapid rate," she said. "The Council is struggling to adjust." Ethan nodded. "We fight smart, not brute. Remember that?" Liren observed the battle with a mixture of awe and relief. "Your species? You are unpredictable. That is why you survive. The Council does not understand that courage and choice can outweigh weapons." Hours passed. The Council's fleet retreated, unable to locate the Cathari precisely or break through the defenses. Humanity had shown that it would protect life at all costs, and the galaxy had noticed. When the immediate threat had passed, Ethan and Megan led a meeting with Earth's leaders and Cathari representatives. "We cannot ignore the Council forever," Ethan said. "But we have proven that we can stand. Now we need a plan for the future, one that ensures safety for the Cathari, and shows the galaxy that Earth will protect life." Liren spoke next. "We have learned much from humans. They are brave, patient, and clever. If the Council continues to threaten, we can adapt. Together, humans and Cathari can teach the galaxy that life is more valuable than power." Earth's leaders agreed. They began sending messages to nearby planets and systems, sharing a vision of cooperation, protection, and compassion. Small groups of alien species, oppressed or exiled like the Cathari, started to see Earth as a safe haven. Back on Earth, Cathari habitats had grown. Children laughed and played with humans. Adults taught humans about Cathari technology, while learning Earth customs in return. Slowly, the two species began to build a new society, one based on respect, cooperation, and hope. One day, Ethan walked with Liren near a small garden built in the middle of the Cathari settlement. Plants from Earth grew beside Cathari flora. The children played nearby, their laughter ringing across the quiet air. "You have changed their lives," Ethan said. Liren smiled. "And you have changed ours. We once believed we were cursed to wander the stars without home, without hope. Now we understand that exile brought us here. Perhaps the galaxy rejected us to lead us to a place brave enough to care." Ethan looked at the children, humans and Cathari playing together. This is what it means to be human. To protect, to care, to act even when danger looms. That is our strength. News reached Earth that the Council had withdrawn temporarily. They were wary of direct conflict, unable to predict human behavior. Quietly, some Council worlds began sending envoys to Earth, seeking dialogue, curiosity, and guidance. Humanity's courage had shifted the balance in ways the Council had not imagined. Liren spoke to her people one evening. "We were cast out by the galaxy, but Earth did not turn away. Humans risked everything for us, not for gain, not for power, but because it was right. That is why we belong here. That is why we have hope." Tivan nodded. "We were afraid, but now we see that courage, compassion, and intelligence can create a future the galaxy cannot destroy." Ethan made a report to the United Nations. "Earth did not seek war. We did not seek power. We acted because it was right. Humanity has shown that protecting life, even against impossible odds, is the greatest strength." And now the galaxy is noticed. In the months that followed, humans and Cathari worked together to explore, to study, and to learn. Small settlements grew, combining technologies from both worlds. Schools were built, laboratories shared, and communities formed. The Cathari were no longer exiles. They were members of a society that valued them. One morning, as the sun rose over Earth, Liren stood beside Ethan on a balcony overlooking the new settlement. Children laughed below, humans and Cathari learning and playing together. "Perhaps this is the start of something greater," Liren said softly. "A place where all exiles, all those rejected by the galaxy, might find safety." Ethan nodded. "This is only the beginning. Earth has chosen to protect life. We will show the galaxy what it means to act with courage, even when the odds are against us. That is our message. That is our legacy." Megan joined them, holding a small Cathari child in her arms. "They are learning so much, and we are learning too. Perhaps together we can change the galaxy one life at a time." Liren looked at the horizon. "The Council may return. Others may seek to harm us. But for now, we have hope. We have safety. And we have humans who will not abandon us." Ethan placed a hand on Liren's shoulder. "We do not abandon those in need. That is humanity. That is our strength." And so the galaxy had changed. One small planet, humble and fragile, had stood against cruelty and fear. One species, human, had chosen compassion over conquest. The Cathari, once exiled and hopeless, had found a new home. Children laughed. Adults worked. Knowledge grew, and hope, fragile but strong, spread across the stars. Earth had become a beacon, a safe place for the cast out, a home for those who dared to believe in life, courage, and compassion. As the stars stretched endlessly above, humans and Cathari alike looked forward to a future where the galaxy could learn that strength is not only in weapons, but in choice, in courage, and in the willingness to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The Council had underestimated humanity, and in doing so, Earth had become a symbol. For the first time, the exiled Cathari truly felt home, and humanity had shown the stars what it meant to be human. And so, a new dawn rose for two worlds, connected by trust, courage, and hope.